Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Chester had to leave. He has to do. I'll tell you. He said he was part of the pitch competition, and so he didn't win. So he's a little sour. He said that's his words. He didn't want me to say it on the air, but oh well. Oh well, Chester. Next time. But anyway, we are here with our twice monthly segment with A Squared SBDC, Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center. And this morning, we are very pleased to have back with us. We have them both now, pre-funding and post-funding. We have Kenron Braynen, head of pre-funding, Leo Rolle, head of post-funding, and the winner of the pitch competition from Stay Chill 242, Jenson Rolle. Good morning. Congratulations. Great to have you all with us.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. All right. So we're going to find out more about the pitch competition in a bit. And this is all part of the summer entrepreneurship training and mentorship series, which we've been hearing a lot about over the past few weeks. So getting good response from this, I guess, right? It's been, we hear a lot. We're seeing lots of videos. And so this is going well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And you had something, the last time you were here, something was coming up the following day. How did that go? Tell us about that.
Actually excellent. So
remind us about it.
we have Jenson Rowe who's with us. Obviously, we have the Summer Entrepreneurship Training Program. This is a program, an advisory services initiative, and it's from pre-funding directly straight to post-funding. And so for 15 weeks, we take entrepreneurs through a series of skill set building competencies. And so we have topics like price equals value or value equals price, boost your profit, scale your size, write your plan, debt or equity funding, partnership or shareholder agreements, insurance coverage, customs duties. And dispersed in between these various 15 weeks, we have 3 pitch competitions. And so the first, obviously, as you mentioned with Chester, was the day after we were on air.
Right.
And that went very well. We had 6 competitors. There was supposed to be J.S. Johnson as our sponsor for that event. The prize was supposed to be $5,000, but things happen, and I grew up with my grandparents, and so she always say, blessings come in twos. And so we had an angel investor in the room that night, Mr. Henry Dean from United Sanitation.
Okay.
So the prize money went from $5,000 from our flagship sponsor, J.S. Johnson, to $25,000.
Oh my goodness.
And so Mr. Dean pledged $20,000, $5,000 for each of the top place finishers, first to fourth. And so Mr. Rolle, Jenson Rolle, ended up with $10,000 rather than $5,000.
Okay.
And then Kendrick Delaney from the New Duff ended up with $5,000 in fourth place. Antonio Miller from Raw Build ended up with $5,000 in third place. And Charles Richardson of Seymour Telecoms also ended up with $5,000 in second place.
Wow. Also, Chester really.
Yeah, that's why you saw.
Oh gosh. Oh boy, Chester. Sorry. Well, he has a new baby, so that's fine. That's fine. But this is amazing. That is a miracle. How did something like that happen?
It was.
We spend a lot of time and a lot of effort trying to procuring the participation of different persons in these events. So investors, but also just getting broad buy-in from corporate Bahamas, but also regular everyday Bahamians, because we believe that this program has the ability to change the landscape economically of our country. So we want as many people as possible to partner with us. So that runs the gamut from corporate entities to the regular everyday Bahamian.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Okay, so that was one for last month. There's another one coming up.
There's another one on August 30th. This is, so the first pitch competition, we have them tiered. And so the first was for an innovative business. How is your business innovative? How does it seize the opportunity to be innovative, different, turn the industry upside down? The second pitch competition is on global business. So how is your business a global business? That pitch competition is sponsored by Simplified Lending, and the prize for that is $7,500. And then our culminating pitch competition, the grand prize, is on September 27th, and that is sustainable business. How is your business sustainable? Now you can take that from 2 points. Sustainable in terms of environment, so green sustainability. How do you use indigenous products, or how are you using renewable energy? or you can take it from the standpoint of sustainable in terms of longevity and how is your business going to weather the storms when they come. And that prize is sponsored by Fidelity Bank, and that is $10,000.
Okay, all right, that is wonderful. Okay, so let's hear from Jenson Rolle, Stay Chill 242. This innovative company here, this business idea. Tell us about this. This is a new venture, or this is something you were working on before? Give us all the background information.
Good morning. Stay
A little
chill.
closer to that.
Stay chill is the name is new, but the idea is something that has been in the making for years. And what Stay Chill is actually, it's a manufacturing company, and it represents healthy and wholesome. I mean, stay chill, we need you around. So that's the stay, and then the chill means chill out and relax.
Yeah.
And so one of the things we did is our flagship product is all natural popsicles. The goal was to try to make healthy fun again. And with me having two autistic sons, and the goal with that was picky eaters and all of those stuff, and not to give them processed food. So popsicles was the way to go.
Wow.
And after doctors would have told me my oldest son that he would probably never speak, and I'm changing his diet and giving him the fever grass, pop, and all of that stuff, I can't get him to shut up.
Wow.
So I thought of something now that, hey, I could be selfish with it, but as a former educator, I realized that there was a problem with our youths with finding wholesome food. So that's our focus right now, to be able to get this product, as simple as it may be, but to be able to give our kids something that is healthy and enjoyable.
Okay, all right. So how will the money help you do this?
Well, for right now, we are an existing business, but we do have our challenges as far as the transportation. And then we've been approved by the feeding program of the Ministry of Education to actually have our popsicles in all of the government schools.
That's wonderful.
And to my recollection, we are the only ice street product approved.
Okay.
So is already 207 schools in the Bahamas alone. So also the funding will also go to help with machinery to be able to accommodate this. But our biggest challenge we have is transportation. The sun trying to kill us, and we have an ice product.
That's going to be rough. All right. So you mentioned fever grass. I mean, these are some interesting flavors.
Oh yeah, you name it, we have it.
Yeah.
We have.
Tell us about this.
So we have like the fever grass, we have the hibiscus mint, we have the guava leaf lime. These just are bush tea blends. Then we go into our seasonal fruits. You have the sea grape. Imagine eating sea grapes with no seed. You can just enjoy it straight down. The sour sop and all of those. And we also have some crazy flavors that you probably never think about. Like we have our melon blast. And so you name it, almost any drink you could get in a popsicle. And what we do with it is we make it healthy. So you could eat 10 of them and don't worry about, if I'm going to put on an extra pound or two. We have people who claim that they feel better after they take it. We have a vitamin C blast where you put aloe vera in the popsicle, and you don't have to worry about that bitter taste. It still tastes delicious. So this is the real pharmacy instead of using pH, but pharmacy using as a farm, and you eat your medicine instead of going to the doctor for it.
Wow. Okay. So many questions. So tell us about how you're doing this, the manufacturing process right now. How many people are helping you with this? How does this work?
Right now, it's just strictly my family, my wife, and the same two boys.
Yeah.
In the afternoons, we go to the farm. In the night, we make the popsicles, and in the day, we try to sell them. So it's just it's a small band right now, but we're looking, once we're able to get our machinery and all those stuff in, to get a bigger location and to even bring in some more staff, because with this, we also want to venture out into the tourism industry as well. So that our guests, when they come to our shows, that they could, taste the Bahamas as well. So the school part is going to be large within itself, because there are many schools, and then we're looking at the private schools as well. We're already in 4 schools, 2 government and 2 private schools. And so with that, we're trying to reach out to everybody. Our goal is to be able to have our popsicles in every household, and so we could bring a little bit of health. When we were growing up, they used to say the mad cow disease, because everyone used to eat burgers and they used to have to put so much chemicals in the beef. But there is studies to show that there's a correlation between our stomach and our brains. And sometimes what we eat do affect the way we think.
Absolutely.
So we want to change our Bahamas by the way we eat.
Yeah. How did you come up with some of these combinations? You just experimenting, or you?
And I've been I grew up on a farm,
Mhm.
and sometimes you only had a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you want a lot of something, so you had
Yeah.
to mix a little bit of this and a little bit of that to get a lot of something else. And I only could give credit to God because yes, I did study nutrition and all of those stuff, but that didn't help me with the flavor blends.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it hit me, it goes through if it's something new, I have to go to the wife, and if she said don't make no sense, then it don't go up to nobody else.
Wow. Okay. So if you want to find Stay Chill now, what do I do?
But for right now, we're just a mobile company. So we're on the social media platforms. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, or you could WhatsApp us or call us. Our WhatsApp number is 807-8358.
807
8358.
8358.
Or you can call us on 558-9292. And so we offer free delivery, and that's only 21/7. So we'll get to you.
Yeah. So what is the goal? I mean, you're going to do, you want to do this full time? Is this?
Oh, yes,
mhm.
I am going in this full time. Like I said, I've been doing popsicles for a while, but I was an educator and I was doing it part time.
Mhm.
And for right now, it's go big or go home, and I
Yeah.
plan to go big and not to go home. So for me right now is to really take this product and just expand on it because it's just a flagship product. We also make our own spices. We make our own ketchup. We just finished a course in sausage making. So actually, almost all of these imported brands, that's actually what we're going against, because so much preservative. Something has to sit in a container for 4 months and then has to sit on the shelf for another 2 months. And how is that healthy? So if we could start by at least making our Bahamas healthy,
Yeah.
then we could jump to the world.
This is a great story. All right. So how did you find about the pitch competition? Were you already working with A Squared?
I was a part of the SBDC from about 2000, and I was probably about 17 when
Okay.
it first started.
Yeah.
And so I was there through all of the trainings and all of those scenes, and then I took a backseat because I got busy with work. And it wasn't until I think Bamsey had a fair at Holy Trinity, and I met Mr. Rolle here, and then he started telling me where he works. So you should come back.
Mhm.
And I did, and him and the program has been an awesome help to me, because you think you know everything, but when you finally get in some arenas of your life, you know nothing. It's like, oh. And so I had a product and I had all of these stuff, but when you look at branding and building your tribe and your business plan and marketing and all of those things, you realize that, hey, my business was suffering even when I thought it was doing well. So being a part of the set and a part of the Access Accelerator program has really opened my eyes to a lot, and in a way has really, really inspired me to say, hey, I could do this. I could take this business and this could be $1 million company.
Yeah. This is amazing. Wow. All right. So Leo, Rolle, Kenron Braynen, how can you help companies like Stay Chill 242? I mean, what do people need to do to get to this level of success and grow their idea?
I think the first thing that most companies need to do is come up with a sustainable plan for how you move your business forward. I think most of the challenge that we see in pre-funding when people walk through the door is that, most of our clients have amazing ideas. They have amazing thoughts that they want to put forward, but they have no true plan for how to scale the idea. So how to actually make it bigger, and also how to deliver it consistently. So having a plan for how we move this idea forward is the most important thing that any business can have. I think after that is always the funding, right? So having the money to actually make the idea work, make it go where it needs to go. In between there is the process. And, no matter how hard we try to run away from it, we cannot avoid that incubation period that every business has to go through, because you may start out at one place and you end up at an entirely different juncture. So Jenson talked about the fact that he grew up on a farm, the fact that they have this idea that they're going to produce food and interrupt the actual normative environment when it comes to food. But he's starting out at popsicles. So we get the opportunity to watch entrepreneurs start out at one place, but through the process of development, growth, repetition, them coming to sometimes an entirely different configuration of what they originally started with.
Yeah. And then Leo, when you get to post funding, What else?
Yeah, I always say that that's where the real magic happens, right? Kenron's department is the courting department, so that's where the courting happens. But I think post-funding is the marriage department. So
Okay.
either we stay married or we get divorced.
Oh boy.
But we hope we don't get divorced, right? But I think entrepreneurs have to realize that there's a saying, if you build it, they will come. That's not true. And
It's not true.
No,
No.
not in the
Absolutely.
world of
Oh gosh, you shattered lots of people.
and so entrepreneurs have to understand that the amount of work that you put into the emphasis of getting your business off the ground and getting it to where it needs to be, you have to put in sometimes twice as much work to keep your customers. And so how do you then continuously hone your craft? How do you look at the environment? How do you understand the demographics? How do you use algorithms? How do you do e-commerce? How do you understand the dynamics of business? Because some people may be saying, okay, I'm making money, I'm making revenue, but it's all going out the back door on your expenses.
Wow.
Are you doing proper accounting? Are you pivoting when the market requires you to pivot? We have a client, and I always use this example, who started off making, and obviously he was one of the pitch competition persons, right? But he started off with simple desserts. And then when the economy, when COVID-19 came and food became everyone's best friend, he transitions and he pivoted into a full breakfast menu. That now is actually making more revenue for him than his signature streamlined dessert. And so how do you do that as an entrepreneur? How do you know when to pivot is very important. And so I think at post-funding, we get the magic of helping clients. I have a team of advisors who are absolutely amazing, and they have the esteemed task of thinking. They get paid to think. How do you help this client, or how do you help this client to strategize and to think about the nuances of business before it even happens? Most businesses hit a proverbial wall in their second year of operation. How do you preempt or predict that proverbial wall and help those clients that when they get to it, they know that, okay, I need to go around it or I need to go over it. Some even dig underneath and go underneath it and then come out to the next side. But however you get to the next side, you need to do what it takes. And so I think that's the beauty of the SET program, the 15 weeks that we're taking the persons through. Jenson mentioned being in business already, but not understanding all of the dynamics and fundamental parts of it. And so I watched him over the years. I think we're in our 5th week now.
Yeah.
I watched, even before that, I know Jenson maybe almost 20 years now. But I've watched him grow. He was always quiet, but I watched him grow to someone now. And even in this short 5-week period, I've seen a lot of transitionary growth within him. And I look forward to where the business is going.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So when is the next time people might have an opportunity to be part of an innovative pitch competition?
Perhaps next year. No, we're always ongoing, right? We have a Royal Caribbean program that Royal Caribbean and the Access Accelerator joined together. They provided 250,000. We matched that 250. And so we have persons who can access that program once they are in the tourism industry, and that's very broad.
Yeah.
Whether it be local tourism or international tourism. And so as a result of that, the business has to be an existing business for operating for 12 months or more. We found that about 85% of the persons who were applying were startups. And so what we did, as we normally do, got our thinking caps going, and we created a program that assists startups through the Royal Caribbean. So we call it the Royal Caribbean Kickstarter program. Persons who have businesses and they may be startups can sign up for that program. It allows them to go through boot camp for 8 weeks, similar to the SET program. And so we train them, we help them to understand business, to build their acumen, to build their business plan, to build their financials. And then at the end of it, we award, I think it's some 22,500 in funding. And so 2 persons will be awarded 5,000. 1 person will be awarded 7,500. And 1 person will be awarded 10,000. 1 person will be awarded 15,000.
That is great stuff. There's a lot of money floating around there. All right, so with this group, these were all existing, or were there any startups?
Yes. Well, existing to the point of in business, but there was 1 actual full-on startup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is great stuff. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to find out more about what's left with the SET program and how many more weeks that you have.
About 11.
Oh, okay.
10, 11.
Yeah. And other exciting things happening, including a podcast that you have, the Rewind
Absolutely.
podcast and the Guaranteed Loan program. We're going to get into that in just a bit. This is Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us. We're going to be right back.
I grew up coming to Exuma year after year with my grandparents, and now years later, I'm able to come back home and show the world what Exuma has to offer through Hydro Water Sports. Hydro Water Sports is a company that was founded in 2018. I had a product, the Hydro Bike, which is a unique bicycle on pontoons. It's amazing, it's flexible, it's stable, it's buoyant, and it's just so much fun. It just wants to bring the best experience in the best waters of the Bahamas. So it's a tour company, it's a rental company, it's something that brings a new experience to people of all ages and walks of life. What makes Hydro Water Sports stand out is the fact that we don't necessarily go the normal route. So wherever it is you want to go, whatever it is that you want to do, you're able to do that. If you want to have our bikes come to your house, to wherever you are, we're able to do that. So we allow people to be flexible in what it is that they want to experience. We allow persons to create their own tour. Access Accelerator has been awesome, and I needed to get to a point where I needed to start bigger than I had in mind at first. Access was able to fund my business, to bring in more bikes, to bring in my trailer, and to have this be a successful operation from day one. Hydro Water Sports wants to start to spread its wings. We want to move into more islands of the Bahamas. We want to move and bring new products to our fleet. We don't want the standard, we want the exceptional, we want the extraordinary, we want what is brand new, we want Hydro.
We're back here with Morning Blend Business on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan. We are talking with A Squared SBDC, the Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center, our twice monthly segment here. We've got Kenron Braynen with pre-funding, Leo Rolle with post-funding, and from State Chill 242, Jenson Rolle. And so it's not too late to be part of SET, right? The Summer Entrepreneurship Training and Mentorship Program. If I just hearing about it today, I can.
Absolutely not. It's not too late. You can sign up for the sessions. I think for next week's session, the portal is already open. So if you want to sign up and be with us either virtually or in person, you can go ahead and sign up right now. Our in-person seating is limited, so we're limited to 50 persons in-house. But of course, if you start now, there may be room because those sessions fill up quite quickly. So if you go ahead and sign up now, you should be able to be with us in person. But of course, you still can get access to all of what's happening in the room, all of the content being shared through our online portal.
Wow, wonderful. Okay, so what can we expect over the remaining weeks?
Leo?
Oh, sure. So for the remaining weeks, we have, like Kenron said, about 10 more weeks. We're going to be taking the entrepreneurs through a series of training programs. Every Tuesday, we have the training program that is either at our head office, flagship location, Gladstone Road, or virtually. Our next session is price equals value or value equals price. And that's interesting because people always say, maybe if I price it high, it means that it's a valuable product. Or is it the value of the product that will drive the price? And so we're going to take entrepreneurs through that. And then on August 23rd, we will have Boost Your Profit. So what are some tips and tricks, industry professionals, industry nuances that you can get through to help you boost your profit as an entrepreneur?
Just blame inflation. That seems to be the strategy.
Yeah, that's what's happening, right? People say, well, everything's going up, so I go up too.
Right, exactly.
There are things that you can do, right, to boost your profit and do it sensibly.
All right.
And September 6th, we're going to talk about scaling your size. So how do you get your small business, perhaps, or your micro business to a small business, your small business to a medium business, and so how do you do those things? On September 13th, we're going to be talking about writing your plan. That's always important because people always say, well, I'm going to write my business plan. Well, and Chester spoke about it when we were here last time, right? What do you know about writing the plan? What are some of those things
science
that you need? Oh, Kenron can tell you so much about it. That's his department, right? But the plan is most important because it's the blueprint for where your business is going. And there are some things that are very essential to the plan. And I always make the joke, and Jenson can attest to it. Every night we have our sessions, I tell the team or the persons at the session, I read the business plan backwards. See, he didn't even finish it. I want to see your financials first, and then I tie everything else in to your financials. And so that's why we did backwards. And so we're going to talk about writing the plan. And then we're going to talk about equity or debt funding on September 20th. Some businesses, it may take them longer to begin generating profit. So perhaps they need equity funding. Some businesses, they may be able to generate profit right away. And so they may go the route of debt funding. So at the Access Accelerator, we have the opportunity to provide persons with at least debt, equity, and grant funding, combination of all three. And our equity partner is so great, right? Persons usually shy away from equity because they don't want someone to have a vested interest or a stake in their business. But with the Bahamas Entrepreneurial Venture Fund, the business doesn't have to actually pay shares until after the third year, and that's only if they are actually making a profit. And so dividends are paid after the third year. And by the fifth year, they have the option of buying the shares back from the Bahamas Entrepreneurial Venture Fund.
Have you, since you started, have you noticed a shift in the mindset there? Because I still can imagine people are on the fence about that.
People are still on the fence about the equity side of the funding structure, but I think that's also that is what SET was created to do.
Yeah.
So these different headings are meant to, first of all, train the entrepreneur, but also give them information that some things that you may think of as being scary, or, people traditionally think that, I won't have control of my business if someone is an equity partner or has an equity stake. We want to dispel those myths and talk to people about how an equity partnership can actually be beneficial to a company in a lot of ways. So, as we go through the sessions and as we go through the different subjects or topics, we hope to dispel a lot of these myths.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is a lot of wealth of knowledge coming from this program.
And the remaining three, Dwight, would be partnership, shareholder agreements. Even when people get into business with spouses, they think, okay, I don't need a partnership agreement, but
That's when you need it.
but we want to, as Kenron said, dispel the myth about partnership agreements, ensure that it's done properly, that it's vetted by a lawyer, that there's an exit strategy, and so we're going to talk to our entrepreneurs about that. And then we're going to talk to them about insurance coverage. How you got the asset, what do you do with it now? Do you just allow it to sit? Depreciation is real. Acts of God are real. And so you want to ensure that those assets, as well as your business, is covered when you look at insurance. And then finally, we're going to talk about customs duty exemptions, because there are so many exemptions that budding or fledgling, similarly to serial entrepreneurs, have access to that they may just not know. And so every Thursday, so Tuesday is the in-person or virtual training session. And then on Thursday, we have the Accent Advisor session.
Okay.
And so this Thursday, we're going to be talking with our very own CFO, Candice Ferguson, and she's going to be talking about why every entrepreneur needs an accountant.
Okay. People know that now, right? Right?
Okay. But you mentioned our podcast. So our podcast is called The Rewind.
How long have you been doing this now?
We're going to be recording our third session coming up. So persons can find it on Spotify by searching The Rewind. And once they go ahead and find The Rewind, they can listen to The Rewind with Access Accelerator, actually. They can listen to our first two podcasts that have already been recorded. And I'm sure they'll enjoy it, because what it is a spinoff. So they're able to recap what happened that Tuesday if they actually missed it. And they're also able to hear about it or hear about this. So I'll give you an example. Our second podcast is on branding. While we had Teranique Darrell, who is the owner of iDiscover, speak to us about branding that Tuesday, when we did the podcast, we actually had Aiden Barrow, and she spoke to us about branding. So we recapped what happened on Tuesday, and then she gave her own unique spin on what branding is from an entrepreneurial standpoint.
Excellent. So is this just going to be for the summer while SET is going, or is this going to be an ongoing?
I'm sure our executive director is listening, so that's a plug. Right?
Okay. All right. And so on Spotify, you say?
Yes.
So every week it is up. There's a new one.
Every Friday. So the session is on Tuesday. We record that Wednesday, and then it'll be loaded on that Friday.
Excellent. And we know the guaranteed loan program. Tell us about that. Where things stand with that.
So I smiled, Dwight, when you asked about the guaranteed loan program, because it's connected to something you asked earlier about the pitch competition. So entrepreneurs have the opportunity to experience our pitch competition every Friday during our investment committee sessions. So essentially, the guaranteed loan program, we started at the beginning. The guaranteed loan program basically is one where we kind of put together all the separate programs that the SBDC has to offer. So you can come to us and get standalone help with either getting your business plan written, getting your historical financials put in order by using a BICA voucher. Each of those we pay a maximum of $500 to cover or help to defray the cost of. In addition to that, there's also our business plan review services. So we actually, if you have a business plan, or for those persons that are actually having these business plans written, we go ahead, we review them for integrity, for viability, we give you advice, we give you solutions. All with the greater goal of having these persons matriculate into the guaranteed loan program and go to our investment committee. The investment committee experience is one that's very, very similar to the pitch competition environment. It's a smaller room. The meetings are usually held in a virtual environment, but you're subjected to the same sorts of questions. There is a 5 to 7 minute pitch involved. The entrepreneur is given the subject matter points that they should be pitching to us on. There's then a 25-minute segment where the investment committee members actually question the entrepreneur. And based on the presentation made in the business plan and also during that pitch, the client is either approved for funding or the government guarantee, or of course, they're given some pointers to go back and actually address in their business plan.
Sounds terrifying.
It isn't. We prepare our clients for investment committee presentation. So that's actually another thing that we do internally. So we actually sit with the client for a week prior to the investment committee presentation, and we actually prep them for the experience. I mean, the pitch competition participants in some degree would have had interaction with one of our team members, where they would have gone through, some of the questions, some of the expectations they should have for the actual presentation. And we do the exact same thing in a smaller way every week.
So it has to be you. You can't hire a pitch man, pitch woman.
Absolutely not. And the reason for that is very, very simple. When the client now moves on from the SBDC, because our services only serves to incubate that business, and we also underpin our support from the business development side by providing the client the government guarantee, which the client can now take, we take along with this newly developed business plan to a financial institution, one of our partner institutions. And we say to them, listen, this person has a viable business plan. This is a viable business. Can you fund them? The financial institution then wants to speak with that person,
Right.
to verify that they know and actually are aware of the information that's in this particular business plan. So, I mean, it's important for the entrepreneur to be intricately acquainted with the details, to understand what's happening in the business and be able to speak about not just the business or the operational standpoint or a segment of the business, but also be able to kind of dive into the financials of the business a little bit.
Okay. All right. So Jenson, did you have to do this pitch in front of everybody at the session that day? I mean, what was that like for you?
I mean, for me, it wasn't a problem because I know my stuff. And I'm not saying it to boast, but I'll say it to encourage every entrepreneur out there or business, someone trying to get in business out there, is that you got to know what you dealing with. And I'll use a story I shared with Leo that the day before, when I was supposed to send my pitch deck, and technology is not the best, the entire pitch deck got deleted. And so I had all of the pictures and the nice stuff and all of the stuff that just move and all of those things. And so I was walking with him and he said, well, you know it, right? So you don't even need it. So I put together only a 2 minutes something, but nevertheless, as the Bible says, that word have I hidden in my heart that I may not sin against you. More so your business, as long as that's in you, because not everywhere you go, you're going to have technology. You're going to have a PowerPoint. You may be like what they call the elevator pitch. You may just be in the elevator with someone. You may be riding in a car. You may just have a minute, and you have to be able to know your business that good that in that 1 minute or that 30 seconds, you could get a meeting or you could get a thing. So for me, it was up there, and everyone, I'll be honest, I saw something. awesome presentations. The stuff was spinning and I was this.
What about the gear, the chest out on?
I need
No rubber in the chest to that. It's really feeling
everyone had everything, and I'm not downing them or downplaying them, but I was like, wow, my little 50 cents presentation, no pictures and no background or anything. But guess what? When you know. And so I went up there and I was me. I am my business, And so it was me now to sell myself to the investor. So who I is today, the cracking the jokes and all that stuff and moving, it was there like that, And so that's what it was. And I think in a way, because I don't think the judges look at my slides one bit because they're doing like, this is not professional. But they look at the fact that I was able to deliver and I knew my weaknesses. And one thing I learned doing the set series is what they call a SWOT analysis that I never knew. That, you have to now look and find out what is your weaknesses in business. What are the threats? So now I have to now be vulnerable to say like, wow, my business is not 100% true. But now going through it, I was able to, okay, this is my weaknesses. This is what I need help with. This is what I need to be working on more than just doing what I know. So it is going to the competition. It was good. And then the questions that the judges presented was pretty awesome as well, because it caused you to think, because they looked at it from a different angle. And so when someone hit you with this question, what are you going to do with this happen in the next 5 years? What I'm going to do. But now it caused you to go back to the drawing board. So in 5 years, we might have this, or now I can fix that. I can fix that. So now it takes your business, like Kenron was saying, it takes it from just an idea to a viable existing business that, hey, maybe generations will be able to benefit from you sitting down and answering these simple questions, going through these simple 15 weeks of training. And now your business, your great grandchildren could be able to benefit from something you did through the help of Access Accelerator.
Did you have samples out there as well?
Oh, yes.
That probably up to
I think that was the joy part of it, because I took a little extract from, I think, Oprah, where she goes and she, you get a pump, you get a pump, you get a pump. And so, but it was fun. Right. And so, and I'll also say this to any budding entrepreneur, that if you have a product, and I learned this one from Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said that if you're making a product and you can make one, make it, and when you sell that one, come back and make 10. And when you sell that 10, come back and make 20. You have to go into an investor knowing that, hey, they have to know that once they see their confidence that, hey, whether you invest in me or not, it's still gonna happen. Right. So now guess what? It's up to you to get on the winning team. You go with doubt, oh, well, if you don't give me this, I know what I can do. They're gonna look at your confidence. My confidence was, hey, guess what? This is what I need, and this is what I do, and why is they waiting for what I need? So now guess what? It's okay. Let's help the person who's trying to help themselves. Why should I invest in you if you're not willing to invest in yourself? And I think that's what the breakdown of the business plan and all the sessions help you to do it. Hey, yes, so we're giving you all of this material, but we're not going to just say, because you have a business idea, see some money and run with it, because you see plenty new Hondas on the road and no business started. So with the Access Accelerator, teach you to do it. Say, if you want this bad enough, we're willing to walk with you, but you got to start.
Excellent. I guess you've answered it already. The greatest lesson you've learned throughout this whole journey?
Well, I'm still learning. But the greatest lesson I've learned is that your business, and like your business plan, it's never a PDF file. And why I say that is, you always have to go back and address it. There's always something, like you'll talk about pivoting. My business may be here now in 2 years. How do I know that all of the fruit trees wouldn't just dry up? What do I do? Does my business fail? Or I learned to say, guess what? I can sell now dry wood, because all of my fruit trees dry, but I got a bunch of wood. So I could sell wood. And that's what it teaches you to do. And then when the trees grow back, I can sell leaf and all of that stuff. So it teaches you to, when something is coming up, to be ready for it, and then how to handle it. And so I'll always look at what the thing called, I shouldn't say it, but the Viagra drug, right? The study behind that was designed to be for your heart. But when they saw that it wasn't helping the heart, it was helping something else, they just rebranded and said, bam.
There you go.
And so that is what the set series helps you to do. You have a business idea. Okay, Now let's take that idea and let's see how we could make this the best idea that you benefit from it. You know, so you may be set on one thing, but we could find out of that one thing, we could find 10 things.
Yeah.
And all 10 of those working for you will do better than that one just working
Wow.
for you.
Jenson, Rolle, you're touching a lot of people today. People are asking for your contacts again and for more information about Stay Chill 242.
Oh, wow.
How can people reach you?
All right. You could reach us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram. It's Stay Chill 242. Or if you want to reach us via the phone, you could WhatsApp us at 807-8358. Or if you want to call us, you could call us at 558-9292. And again, we are a manufacturing company. Right now, our flagship product is our all natural popsicles. So once you'd reach out to us, we'll let you know the flavors we have, and you could even get customized popsicles where we'll go and we'll find that exact fruit. If you have a child that doesn't eat a certain fruit and you want that child to eat that, we will find a way to accommodate that fruit in a popsicle in a way that that child would like it. And we go from our past, we could almost guarantee that that child that doesn't eat the apple or the so, they'll be eating it.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing there. All right. So Kenron, Leo, what's next? What's next for A Squared SBDC?
So as I mentioned before, our second pitch competition, which is the global pitch competition, is on August 27. The business has to be an MSME. And so our definition of MSME is a business that generates less than $5 million in revenue a year and employs less than 50 people. And so they have to sign up with their business plan, pitch deck, and their business license by August 20th. August 20th is the absolute deadline.
Wow.
Okay. And that's because, Dwight, obviously, we're not going to allow every single person. I think we had well over 100 applicants during Jenson, those pitch competition.
Okay.
And so we actually have to do our prejudging. And it's a secret prejudging panel where we go through the business plan, we look at the aspects of it, and we narrow it down to 5 or 6. And so we need at least a week to do that. Imagine the amount of business plans that we will have, right?
Right.
And so we want to go through them first, and then we will narrow it down. And the top 5 or 6 businesses will be the ones to advance to the global pitch competition.
Okay.
Again, our sponsor for that is Simplified Lending. The prize is $7,500, but you never know who will be in the room,
Right.
as we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
And then on September 27th, sorry, is our final pitch competition, and that is sustainable business. Our flagship sponsor for that is Fidelity Bank. The prize is $10,000. And we have an in-kind sponsor where it'll actually be held. It's at John Watling's.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be great.
For us, generally, we always want to have clients interact with us. So beyond set, beyond our other programming options, we want to let all entrepreneurs know that we're constantly available. So if you can join up with us by going to our website, www.accessaccelerator.org, and clicking on the Join Us Now tab, that would give you access to our flagship program, a flagship funding program, which is the guaranteed loan program, but also all of our other programming options in terms of the RCL program, the RCL Kickstarter program, and also the services that we provide. So training, mentorship, educational opportunities through our partnership with Udemy are all available to any and every Bahamian entrepreneur through our online portal. Also, if there are challenges with getting access or you need to reach out to us directly, there's also the help desk option. So you can reach us at helpdesk@sbdcbahamas.com, or you can also reach out to us via WhatsApp at 3590626, or call us at 359-2394.
This is wonderful stuff. Great, encouraging news today. Kenron Braynen, Leo Rolle, and Jenson Rolle. Again, congratulations, and keep up the great work with Stay Chill 242. Looking forward to great things from you. Thank you again for being here. Looking forward to talking with you all again later in the month. We're going to take a quick break and be back to wrap things up. This is Morning Blend Business on Wednesday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9.